did pretty good.
Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KitBadger.com out here for the next part in our 2021 Coast to Coast tour. Picking up where we left off down at the RanchTX outside of Eagle Lake. And today was a range day. It was pretty awesome. Fortunately, it started off a little bit slow since we were there basically on site. We didn't have to get up crazy early, but got up, got moving probably around like 9 or so, went and essentially set up the short range. The way the RanchTX works is they have some amazing ranges, but they don't have like one do-all range for us to necessarily be at. So there's 1,000-yard range, and then there's another one that's kind of like a 180, this huge berm, and that's where we did our short range stuff. So we went out there early, got after it, getting it set up. To make sure we didn't get cooked in the sun, we set up a couple awnings, a 10 by 10 and a 12 by 12, and then set up all of our targets that we picked up from Thor Targets. Nice big array. After having set that up, we were like, all right, now it's time to go back and relax a little bit, eat something, get ready. Because the range day ended up getting pushed forward a little bit, and right about 11, rolled out to the long range. Basically berms every 100 yards, starting at 100, going all the way to 1,000. Got out there, started unloading guns, getting everything set up so we could kick it off with our range day. After going through the administrative stuff like safety brief, med brief, a couple little nuanced things with respect to the RanchTX, like be aware of wild game walking onto the range. Do not shoot them. That will be very expensive if you do. Once we had all that stuff out of the way, we cycled through real quick, make sure everyone was pretty capable of hitting the target in front of the berm. Kind of part of their procedures as far as the RanchTX blessing people to be able to come shoot there. And then jumped right into it. My boys handed out everyone's DACA pouches with their swag as well as all of our ammo, and we got after it. Since it was broken up with basically kind of two different ranges, we had out there on the long range all of our 5.56 guns, whether it was the prototype Sugar Weasel from Q or our two Radian Models 1s, one of which 10.5 inch, the other one a 17.5 inch. And then we also had the Brownells BRN 180 out there as well. Then as far as our 308, we had the one came over from Shooting Surplus, the Knights Armament SR-25, pretty rad gun. We also had the rifle from Sawtooth Rifles, Matt Yor made custom rifle with the help of the person behind it, win the 2018 USASOC Sniper Challenge. Really cool bolt gun. And then of course, most people's favorite, the Fixed by Q, our title sponsor. That gun, ton of fun to shoot, really light and handy. And we spent the next hour or two out there shooting out the distance. Once we finished shooting through all of our 5.56 and 308, packed up the party, went over to the shorter range. It was definitely getting pretty hot, definitely pretty humid by that point, but it was a lot of fun out there. We got to shoot through basically all the other guns, starting with 22s. We had some pretty fun ones, to include my son's little Savage Rascal that Sawtooth Rifles actually cut down, SBR'd, and had an Erector 22 on there. Then also 1022 Charger from Shooting Surplus with the SB Tactical chassis. Really fun. I mean, 22s are just hard to beat. On top of that, the Glock 44 from Shooting Surplus as well, with the Erector 22 on there. Tons of fun shooting suppressed rimfire. As far as 9mm go, we actually have 2 OZ9s from ZEV. One is being shot with the Erector 9 on it. The other one, well, both are actually going to get auctioned at the very end of this tour in support of SOCF, Special Operation Care Fund. But the one we had out there was the 17-sized OZ9 with that Erector 9. Great gun. And then one of our other sponsors, Hi-Point. Always a classic. Both their 995 carbine and their Yeet Cannon Gen 1. Tons of fun. Both of them with Erector 9s with the fixed barrel adapter. Really fun guns to shoot. Then moving on over to some 300 Blackout. Again represented, Brownells BRN 180. This one chambered in 300 Blackout. And then kind of all the variations from Q. Whether it was their mini fix, super fun, bolt gun, so quiet with subs. And then also my original Honey Badger pistol that I went and built back in the day. And also the Honey Badger SD. Both rad guns. Especially, I think the Honey Badger SD was a lot of people's favorite. It's just all there, one compact package. It's really cool. And then of course we had our offering from Occam Defense. Really amazing little AK. With it, we were shooting the, I guess, half Nelson on that since everything's suppressed. Basically Q's direct thread, smaller of the two. Essentially a Trash Panda, but direct thread. Pretty neat gun. Then, why not have a little bit of a competition? And ironically, was gonna have the competition with the minifix. Spoiler, with subs, it's too quiet for the Pro Timer to even read. So, ended up actually doing our little competition with the Honey Badger SD. Still really quiet, but with a Honey Badger SD, you could basically bring the Pro Timer up to the side of the gun, so the action noise would essentially kick off the Pro Timer. So the way this one worked, there was a barricade. Started with your magazine in your hand, 1 round on the buzzer, bring it back, go ahead and load up the gun, break 1 shot at, we had a hostage swinger from Thor Targets. Basically the red plate down there, don't hit the hostage or you gotta write their family a letter. But ended up cycling through. It was really fun. Everyone got a chance to, give it their best shot. And at the end of it, we had a winner. They got to pick up a brand new pair of sunglasses from Magpul, which is really cool. They sent those out for people. And then everyone got to dig through and find themselves a shirt from Q. Something else that was kind of cool about this range day was after we finished up there, there was actually a nice shaded spot. Even though it was gross and humid here in Texas. Sorry, Texas, your weather is not my favorite right now. But we were actually able to hang out in the shade and it was kind of fun. It kind of turned into this 2-way question and answer thing. Some people had questions for me and I'm always curious, like asking people kind of what stuck out to them as far as guns at the range day. Like, where they were expecting to fall in love with this and maybe they ended up falling in love with something else. And it was really cool just being able to kind of hang out and just kind of hang out with the people that showed up. The range days are cool. It's a lot of fun to shoot all these different amazing high-end guns and stuff. But what makes it is the people at the end of the day. Both the community with respect to the firearms community and just, incredible group of people. Once again, like the people absolutely make it. This range day was no exception. Incredible group of people out there. Really grateful for everyone that came out. After finally wrapping up that long hot day, I think everyone went back, took a shower, put on some clothes that weren't soaking wet yet, and climbed into the bus to head into town for a little bit of food. And having finally had a nice big meal, it's pretty much bedtime. I'm gonna end up rolling back and crashing out, wake up and see what's on, I don't know, see what's on the agenda for tomorrow. But that right there wraps up this episode of the 2021 Coast to Coast Tour. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.